Welcome to the Deep Dive. We look through fascinating stories, always aiming to unearth some really variable insights. And today, we're not just tracking a career path, we're actually exploring Lauren Ward's, well, very personal quest for belonging and purpose. It's a journey with some, I think, profound lessons for all of us. Our mission today is to take a real deep dive into Lauren Ward's journey to Fanbase, community and purpose. We want to pull out those powerful insights about aligning your professional life with your deepest values. And just as crucial, how you can actively find your community. We'll try and uncover how her really unique background shaped her move, her pivot from big tech to a mission-driven platform that seems to genuinely speak to who she is.
Exactly. And we'll do that by sort of connecting the dots, looking at the different layers of her story. Because her path, it isn't just a list of jobs, right? It's this compelling narrative about how her personal background, those early influences, and this search for cultural alignment really directly informed her professional choices. What's truly illuminating, I think, is how her story offers a kind of blueprint for finding your own sense of home in your career.
Okay, so to really get Lauren's unique path, we kind of need to start at the beginning. Her roots. She was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, a city with such a rich and, let's be honest, complex history. Her family's connection there, it runs deep. Tracing back to the Great Migration after World War II, when so many African Americans moved north looking for better jobs and a better life,
Yeah.
that kind of heritage, that background, it must plant a powerful seed, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. That historical context, seeking opportunity, building a better life, woven right into her family story, that likely instilled a real foundational drive in her. But what's equally fascinating, I think, are her early passions. She was an only child, and she cultivated this incredibly rich inner world. Get this, 15 years classically trained in piano. That's a huge commitment, discipline, detail.
15 years, wow.
Right. But that wasn't all. She also loved reading, writing, sports, and interestingly, specific video games like GTA, Call of Duty, Fortnite. And her taste in film and TV, The Dark Knight Rises, The Sopranos, Game of Thrones, it just shows such diverse interests.
It really is quite a blend, isn't it? You got the structured classical world of piano on one side, and then the super dynamic, unpredictable world of gaming and these complex narratives on the other. How do you see these, well, seemingly different early experiences shaping a future leader's perspective, especially someone who ends up in social media?
Yeah, that's a really key question. The insight here isn't just, diverse interests are good. It's
Yeah.
about seeing how these skills, these frameworks, actually become transferable. Think about it. The focus and execution needed for 15 years of piano, that translates directly into project planning, attention to detail, disciplined problem solving in tech.
Right, that makes
And
sense.
then you take the gaming side. Strategic thinking, adapting quickly, understanding what engages users in complex games like Fortnite. Those skills
The
directly
artist
feed
Blue
into
Leo,
agile decision
Fanbase.
making,
Turn
having
it
that
up.
intuitive grasp of user motivation online. So these experiences, they don't just broaden her view, they give her this versatile toolkit for understanding complex systems, human interaction, really invaluable for a social media leader.
Okay, that connects perfectly. So with that really rich foundation, Lauren then moves into her, well, formidable academic and early professional journey. She gets a business degree from the University of Michigan's Ross School of Business in 2019. A very impressive start. And she definitely hit the ground running. That same year, 2019, she makes the big move to California, dives straight into tech at Facebook, which, soon became Meta. But what's really amazing is that while she's working full-time at one of the biggest tech companies on the planet, she also completes a master's degree in integrated design, business, and technology from USC in 2022. I mean, that just speaks volumes about her drive.
It really does. That period shows an incredible capacity for high-level work and a serious commitment to keep learning. At Meta, she was a product owner for Facebook Stories. That's a
Yeah.
huge role, right? A product used by billions.
Billions, yeah.
Her responsibilities were pretty extensive. Backlog management, basically deciding what gets built and when bug reviews, leading testing sprints, and crucially, keeping engineering, UX, and design teams all on the same page. Just think about the scale, the complexity of managing even a small feature within a giant like Meta. It needs technical know-how, sure, but also huge organizational skill, strategy, and that ability to influence across teams without necessarily being their direct boss.
That influencing part that really jumps out. What specific lessons do you think someone gets from that kind of experience? And how does it set them up for leadership later, maybe outside such a massive company?
Well, that's exactly where the masterclass idea comes in. The real takeaway from her time at Meta isn't just about managing a feature list. It's learning how to make an impact, how to navigate the let's call it organizational dynamics within this huge complex system. It forces you to simplify incredibly complex problems, communicate really clearly, build consensus, because, one small change could affect billions of users.
Right, the stakes are enormous.
Exactly. So that kind of experience, it prepares you for leadership anywhere, really. It teaches adaptability, resilience. It's about learning how to get solid experience and make your mark, even when you're part of a giant machine, where maybe your individual impact feels a bit diluted sometimes. But the learning about managing complexity is just immense.
Okay, so this next part of her story, this is where it gets really interesting, I think. It shows her core motivations so clearly. Despite her success at Meta, she decides to leave in 2024 and join Fanbase. And this wasn't just, looking for a new job. It seems driven by these powerful dual motivations. Professionally, yeah, she wanted to use her social media skills without the guardrails of a massive corporation. More autonomy, maybe a more direct impact. But equally important, maybe even more so, was this personal desire to contribute to a platform focused specifically on creator monetization for Black and brown users. She said it directly. Its mission really resonates with who I am. That's not just about work, it's identity.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And to really feel the weight of that shift, we have to talk about the cultural isolation she felt back in the Bay Area. She was very open about it. Her quote was, "California just wasn't diverse in the way I needed. There were African people, but not a lot of African Americans."
That's a really specific and important distinction.
It is. It points to this deeper need for a particular cultural connection, a sense of belonging that just wasn't being met there for her. And this search for community was so strong, it actually led her to move to Atlanta in August 2022. That was before she even joined Fanbase.
Oh, okay. So she moved cities specifically seeking that cultural connection,
Yeah.
even before the job opportunity solidified.
Yes.
That's a huge step. What does that tell us about how important cultural fit is, not just in your job, but your whole environment for feeling, satisfied professionally?
I think it highlights something critical that maybe gets overlooked sometimes. Our well-being isn't just about the work tasks. She consciously sought out an environment that felt like her cultural roots. She said Atlanta reminded me of Detroit, diverse, but still very rooted in Black culture.
Right.
It's not just about population numbers. It's about feeling a genuine sense of belonging, cultural affirmation. Her environment was clearly impacting her well-being, and she did something about it. And when she got to Atlanta, she didn't just wait around. She dove headfirst into the city's social scene, went to events, connected with people. Her statement, "If I could make it in California with no support system, I could do it anywhere," really shows her resilience, her initiative.
Yeah, that's powerful.
It really is. It's not just a career story. It's about the courage to actively seek out an environment that truly fits your personal identity, your cultural needs, even if it means a major life change. It's a great lesson in sort of self-advocacy.
And now, let's bring it right up to today to Lauren's present situation. She's only been at Fanbase for, 3 weeks? But already she says it feels markedly different. She shared this powerful feeling of being heard here more than I ever have.
Yeah.
And actually getting to be creative. That sounds like a night and day shift from the big corporate world. And what really underlines this, I think, is that she mentioned people asking for her perspective, not just on product, but culture. That's huge, isn't it? It means they value her whole self, her background, her identity as assets to the mission, not just her technical skills.
It absolutely feels like the culmination of her whole journey. It all comes together here. And when she was asked what she wants to give back, what her goal is for Fanbase and its users, her answer was immediate. "I want to give them an app that feels like home." Just pause on that for a second. Home. What does that mean in the context of social media? A creator platform. It suggests comfort, safety, belonging, authenticity, cultural resonance.
Home for a social media app.
Yeah, that's a really compelling vision. How does that translate practically, like into the user experience? And what are the unique challenges or maybe opportunities in trying to build that specifically for Black and brown users?
Well, translating it means building on trust and genuine representation. An app that feels like home probably prioritizes features that foster real community, not just surface-level interaction. It means having content moderation that's culturally aware, celebrating diverse voices and stories that might get lost or marginalized on bigger platforms.
The challenge, truly understanding and embedding the specific needs, the nuances of those communities deep into the platform's DNA, not just paying lip service to it. But the opportunity is massive. creating a space where creators feel genuinely valued, seen, empowered to monetize their work authentically without pressure to conform to some dominant culture. And what's so fascinating is seeing how Lauren's whole path, her Detroit roots, those diverse early interests, the tough meta experience, her personal search for community, it all funnels right into this role. She can merge her tech expertise with her cultural identity, her personal values to build this specific vision. It feels less like just a career move and more like, well, a calling.
So wrapping this up, what does Lauren Ward's story really mean for you listening right now? I think it's a powerful reminder that a career isn't always just about climbing a ladder, getting the next promotion, the bigger title. It can be, maybe it should be, a deeply personal quest, a search for purpose, for a real sense of belonging. Her story really illustrates how aligning what you do professionally with your core values, with your community needs, how that can lead to just profound fulfillment, not just success, but integration.
Yeah, and it naturally leads to a question for you to reflect on. Are you in environments right now where you feel genuinely heard, where your perspective, not just on the product or the task, but on the culture, is actually valued? Maybe take a moment to think about how you would define home in your own professional life, and what steps, even small ones, could you take, either to build that space right where you are, or perhaps, like Lauren, to courageously seek out that space where you really need to be.